Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you so much for joining me here. I hope you're having an amazing day. We're going to take a look here at Egld, see kind of what's going on, of course, help you understand big picture best practice. This is a request from my community member. Thank you so much for requesting that I cover this here. Greatly appreciate that. As per usual, your feedback is very welcome. Future reference, I'm not a financial advisor, so if you're new to the channel and you're not currently a community member, consider joining actually. It's a really awesome group of folks here. We all learn and grow together, and it's an amazing experience. Truth be told, I send out signals for every trade that I take, so you learn how to structure your trades. Trading Academy, learn how to start, learn how to trade start to finish, right? I cover everything in there, of course. It's pretty much all inclusive, so check that out in your own time. CryptoCache.tech is the site. Link in the description below. So take a look here at Egld. Awesome. I love to see this here. First of all, for starters, we're back up over the 50-day SMA. It's extremely important to have that because it kind of tells you you're on the right side of tracks. Now, I know that you can say this, argue the same thing here as well, where we are up above here previously, then came back down below. But it did overextend itself, had a significant retracement, and concurrently, Bitcoin was doing poorly at that time. Okay. Bitcoin's doing much better now. The average price is much higher than it was previously. So I think that we're going to see a flip here. I do feel like Egld will probably continue higher, and it's looking pretty good in that sense. We'll double check a few things, of course, before we come to that conclusion, but I like what I see here so far, and I know Egld has done very well in the past, and I think the likelihood of it doing well again is pretty high. One thing to note too, just to kind of touch on this here, we are making higher lows still consistently, and obviously higher highs, but this next high may not be this high. Just to be honest with you, we may not see a price range in the 500 again. For now, 159, still a solid steal for a price, in my opinion. All right, so let's go ahead and look at this here. First of all, we're up over the 50-day SMA, excellent stuff, as well as, of course, the 50 on the RSI. Those both concurrently work as support levels, so we should not expect the price to come down much lower than 154. There's still possibility of that, because if we look at the price action here, of course, you can see that the price wicked up to 150 and got rejected. And now, potentially, if the price were to come down lower, we could see 152 as potential support. So I would say the likelihood of the price coming down to 152/158 is still there. But if it were to happen, we should expect a bounce back or perhaps a candle wick down when the price continues higher. We should not expect much lower than that. Again, the main reason why I feel this and have this confidence is because I don't personally feel we're going to see Bitcoin sub 38,000 in the immediate future. We could test 40,200 again. It's trending right around 41 for the moment. We have a nice key level support at 41,200, or sorry, 40,200, and that is a good little support channel. So if you kind of think about the support, so Bitcoin having a nice support channel just below the current price action, this has the same qualities here. Okay. And that to me gives confidence, understanding that we have less fear, uncertainty, and doubt in the market, and the likelihood of the price coming up is higher because once again are most of the inflation issues that we've been kind of pressed with. We had an official meeting yesterday, and the Fed's increased by 0.25%. That's what we expected. The price continued higher. I think we're going to see less crazy candlesticks from Bitcoin, more consistency, and that's going to translate over here to Egld. All right, taking a look at the 4-hour. Let's touch on this here. We're up over 50 and under 70 on the RSI. That's fantastic. We do have a MACD divergence, so we just got to be mindful of the fact that we could continue to see a little bit lower of a price action because it hasn't fully come down. But the key takeaway here is as long as this next low isn't lower than the previous high, we're going to be in pretty good shape. So again, we want to hold 152. I would say a dollar cost average target would be 153 as a rough estimate, just in case the price were to come down a little further, get filled in with that. But generally speaking, we're up over both moving averages. We're up over 50 on the RSI, and even though we have a MACD divergence, we still are looking very good, okay? So again, generally speaking, I like what I see here. I do not see anything adverse so far. Obviously, we have a shift in momentum. We have to have that when we have a solid continuation here. I mean, we look at this here. Look at this. It came up to a 9 on TD sequential, got a reset, came up to another 9. Reset sideways, down to an 8, up to a 5, over to a 7, now we're back at a 4. So to quickly translate what that means, TD sequential is telling us what the fourth previous candlestick, by counting up, is essentially, it's adding up to a 9, right? And as soon as we hit a 9, the likelihood of it turning around is pretty high. You can kind of see this common trend. It hit a 9, reset, up back to a 9 again, and then down to an 8. So with that being said, that basically tells us that Egld has a tendency of pushing itself to its limit and then retracing. Well, we're at a 4 right now. That really doesn't matter too much, but the key takeaway here is that if we were to come down even further and we just say we hit a 9, we could expect a turnaround. So pay attention to TD sequential, specifically on the 1 hour, and see how it performs. If we start seeing the price come down and we get hit like an 8 or a 9, you can expect the price to recover. Okay. Again, pending Bitcoin doesn't do anything obnoxious and stupid. All right, taking a look here at Ichimoku Cloud, there's literally no buy or sell signals right now. We're kind of traveling within the cloud, so this basically tells us we are in a no buy or no sell zone. We want to wait for it to figure itself out. So hypothetically, the price comes down here and then comes back up above. We're back up above the cloud. That'd be a key level support and ready to rock and roll, back on track. Price goes straight sideways from here. We'll inevitably be back above the cloud and ready to go. The key here, though, is that we want to have some kind of momentum. So it would actually be best for the price to come down and then come back up so we can hit that point of exhaustion, get a nice bounce off of support, and keep the price actually moving higher. And that would allow for the conversion line to be back above the baseline, and then this lagging span free and clear of any price action when the price comes back up. Okay? So ultimately, we actually technically want the price to come back down. We don't want it to go sideways, because if it went sideways for much longer here, we'd have the state of indecision, and we need a definitive direction. Sometimes the price coming down first and then coming back up is more ideal, so you just got to be patient and wait for it. So I would say exercise some patience right now. In that sense, the likelihood of it coming down to 152 I feel is higher, but it is still working itself kind of into this little type of wedge pattern, and the potential for a breakout to the upside is high as well. So there's that also. So if you don't want to miss the boat, feel free to add to your position a little bit, and then maybe consider DCA on the way back down. But I don't speculate the price coming much further than 152. If it does, Bitcoin will be sub 38,000. That would be a conversation for another day, right? We want to bridge that gap later, because right now, Bitcoin's still making higher lows. That's the important takeaway here. Higher lows from Bitcoin translates into higher highs and higher lows from Egld. Okay, so ultimately, I like what I see here. I think it's worth investing in at this present time. Are we going to see $300, $400, $500 in the immediate future? Probably not. I don't think we should expect that. I think it'd be naive to think so. But there are some candle wicks, so maybe put in some ridiculous profit targets and see if you get filled. I never truly know. Egld has a tendency of waking up pretty significantly. So again, that's kind of where we're at there for Egld. Hopefully that answered some of your questions. Comment below if you have any concerns or questions, I guess, more so. I hope I was descriptive enough here. I know I kind of went quick, but watch it again if you need to. Otherwise, I cover all this stuff in my trading academy, as well as the fact that I send out signals for trades like these. So you can learn how to structure your trades effectively, because you always need to have at least 3 profit targets and no less than 1 trailing stop loss with a potential of a trailing take profit of percent, maybe 1 or 2. Again, all that stuff is covered in my trading academy and, of course, my community where we all learn and grow together. So check that out in your own time if you don't already know what I'm talking about. Thanks again for joining me, though. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Have yourself a great rest of your day.